Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the WD Broadcasting Network. Tonight we are once again with the Trackmaster Sim Series here for race number 4 of their season. Qualifying underway for these drivers. They have 3 minutes to complete their qualifying runs. Brandon Atkinson right there in the 15. Going to the top of the board right there with his qualifying run. This driver right here was fast in qualifying, in practice. Carter Hollingsworth in the number 28 machine as Brandon Elvis goes to the top spot on lap number 1. The 4 machine goes P1 on lap 1. Lap number 2 for Elvis slows down just a little bit. Carter Hollingsworth on his second lap goes to the top spot. Tanner Bethea in the 20 machine, lap number 2, goes to the top spot with a 14:19. Zach Murphy completes his second lap. We have had 17 cars take a time so far. Matt Vorndren takes the green flag, and he is your final car to qualify here this evening. Uses up lap 1 to get some heat in the tires. This is the money lap here for Vorndren. Down the back straightaway and into turns 3 and 4. You'll see the checkered flag, and we will complete qualifying here. Ooh, a little bit of contact with the outside wall. And he will keep that 14:65. Vorndren going to be coming from the rear here this evening. As qualifying has concluded, Tanner Bethea going to be your fast qualifier here this evening. And I believe he will be starting from the rear. I think he missed the driver's meeting, as the 8 machine of Steven Oberstadt with a fresh new look on that Cottle chassis RJW21 management machine. These drivers have 3 minutes to get their final warm-up laps in to really get the cars where they want them. These guys are on an open setup, so not everybody on the same thing tonight. And we'll see who has speed. 200 laps the distance here this evening. 200 laps at the Hickory Motors Speedway. It's going to be a long race, but at the same time, it's going to be a short one. You see they're running 14-second laps, so they're going to tick away fairly quickly here. Not as many cars as we saw the last couple weeks in the Trackmaster Sim Series. So that might mean more green flag laps. We'll have to see. Last time we came to the Hickory Motor Speedway this season, it was Brian Gravel going to victory lane. And after this race tonight, we will be halfway. We've got some big races coming up. Race 7 of the season, 200 laps at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. That's going to be one that you guys aren't going to want to miss. A lot of strategy, I'm sure, we're going to see throughout the race. race leader coming into this evening, RJ Williams in the 21 machine. Unfortunately, not going to make the call here tonight. We'll take a look at our point standings here. RJ Williams at the top with 164. Ryan Gravel was your leader, but unfortunately missed last week. Looks like he's going to miss tonight as well. So tough break for the guy who won the first 2 races of the season. Look at the guy in second right there, Christian Peterson. As your field makes their way down trackside, waiting on the word on what the invert is. And it looks like the invert is going to be a 4, so that'll put Brandon Atkinson on the pole. Atkinson going to roll off from the top spot here tonight. Tanner Bethea, your pole sitter, I believe, going to be facing an EOL, so he'll go to the rear. But let's take a look at our starting lineup. Tanner Bethea in the 20 machine, your fast qualifier here this evening. Carter Hollingsworth going to roll off from the 3rd spot after the redraw. Brandon Elvis going to start outside pole in the number 4 machine. And Brandon Atkinson in the 15 is going to be your pole sitter. Back behind them, it looks fairly normal. Your starting lineup, Jonathan Adkins on the inside of row number 3 in the 117. Then Steven Oberstadt in the 8 machine will start from that 6th spot. Justin Mulliken in the 51 going to roll off from the 7th position here this evening. And Zach Murphy in the 29 will start 8th to his outside. Inside of row number 5, it's going to be Richard Parks in the 113 with Jared Schell in the 34, rounding out your top 10 starters. Back behind him, Jace Hale in the 70 machine on the inside of row number 6, and then to his outside, Anthony Ankello in the 79, Jared Duda on the inside of row 7 in the 53, and starting 14th, it's the 9 of Brandon Kelly. Matthew Knott in the 82, going to start from the 15th spot with Tony Mongi in the 92. To his outside, he starts 16th. Rounding out your field, Christian Peterson in the 71 machine. Second in points, going to have to start from the back here this evening. Did not get the best of qualifying runs. He'll start 17th alongside Matt Borndren, who starts 18th, rounding out our field. 18 cars ready to go 200 laps here at the Hickory Motors Speedway. It's going to be an exciting one for sure. As you see Bethea pull to the inside, everybody gonna reassemble here. And actually, I take that back. We'll shuffle one car forward. It'll be Jonathan Adkins rolling off on the pole. Atkins will roll off from the top spot. They head down the back straightaway. Atkins picked up 4 victories last season. Has not found victory lane just yet in season 2. We'll see if he can do so here tonight. The pace car is off. And for the first time tonight, we are green flag racing here at Hickory. Down into turns 1 and 2. Jonathan Adkins going to take the early lead down the back straightaway. Into 3 and 4 for the first time. Brandon Elvis going to try to take over the second spot early. He'll do so and slot right behind your race leader, Jonathan Adkins, after lap number 1. Carter Hollingsworth there in the 28 machine to the inside of Brandon Atkinson. Atkinson finally able to get back in line on the bottom side in 4th. A little bit further back, that's the 51 of Justin Mulliken, on the outside of Zach Murphy in the 29. It's hard to get down here at Hickory. We were at Hickory last week in late model stock officials, and getting down is really hard, especially on the restarts. Everybody's so bunched up, and that initial start can be so tough to find the bottom lane. You see that right here for Justin Mulliken. Jace Hale in the 70 machine looking to the inside. Mulliken right now sitting in the 8th spot. Hale trying to take that spot away. Back behind them, Matthew Knott, Jared Schell side by side. That's for the 11th position. You see a couple cars bunched up. Tanner Bethea and Christian Peterson back behind as well. It's easy to run side by side here at Hickory and really keep your car in line, but it's also very easy to burn up the tires, and that's what you do not want to do in a 200-lap race. You've got to be there when it matters, and that's going to involve playing the strategy right and saving your race car. Look back up front. Jonathan Adkins holds the race lead, but not by much. Brandon Elvis is right there in the 4 machine, ready to pounce if he makes a mistake. Through turns 3 and 4 that time, we see lap number 10. I mentioned it earlier, but the laps are going to tick away fast. We're going to put a lot of laps on the board very quickly, especially if we stay green like we're seeing right now. The field's starting to get a little bit more spread out as we look down into turns 1 and 2. Everybody's single file at this moment. A couple cars starting to get spread out towards the back. One driver that we're going to keep an eye on all night long, Tanner Bethea in the 20 machine. Had to start from the rear in this one. It's 200 laps, though, a long time for him to get that 20 car to the front. He was able to pick up the victory in race number 1 last week. We'll see if he can carry that momentum into tonight's race. As your top 4 stay lined up through the exit of turns 3 and 4. Another lap on the board for Jonathan Adkins. On board with Brandon Elvis right here in the 4 machine. Used to saying 54, but in the 4 machine here. He's trying to be as patient as he can. He knows that there's a long time left. You don't want to burn up your race car trying to get around your race leader right now. This time by, we are going to be 16 laps in. 284 laps to go. A long way to go here at Hickory. Here comes Matt Vorndren, qualified shotgun on the field, 18th. Trying to drive his way forward, currently in the 12th spot, trying to take 11th away from Matthew Knott. Not on the outside lane, started 15th in this one up to 12th, but at risk of losing that spot to Tanner Bethea. Bethea trying to follow Vorndren the best that he can. That's one of the things that you really want to do at in the late model stocks. Try and follow the car in front of you, let them use their tires to make the passes. Jared Duda to the inside of Zach Murphy. for the 7th spot. Murphy to the top lane. Trying to keep it pinned down. He's way up the racetrack, though, in turns 1 and 2. Duda going to take this spot. He'll be cleared into 3 and 4. Here comes Justin Mulliken now. Mulliken loose on the bottom side. Murphy really able to drive that car off the top lane, and that's what I was talking about earlier on when I said it's very easy to race side by side here. That top lane just has such a big drive off the corner. You see Mulliken having a hard time getting that machine picked up off the corner through the center. Murphy looks like he's going to hang on to the spot, but can he get clear? It looks like he will be down into turns 1 and 2. So move Zach Murphy back to the 8th spot. But things are starting to shift around here. With 25 laps in, your top 4 remain the same. A little bit of a gap now built up to your race leader. Brandon Elvis sitting in the 2nd spot right now, about 3 car lengths back. So we are 25 laps in, 175 to go. Oh, and the caution flag is out for the first time here tonight. Justin Mulliken in the 51 turned around on the back straightaway. Not sure what happened there. He was running in the 12th spot. But let's see what happened. Sorry, running in the 10th spot, I should say. It looked like there might have been an incident in front of him. He tried to get into the brake pedal. And nowhere for Matt Borndren to go. Look at this on board with Mulliken. Yeah, it looked like he checked up. And Borndren was right there. We'll watch his perspective here. Like just contact up off the corner, nothing he could do. But up front, your race leader, Jonathan Adkins, has led from the get-go. Didn't really have any pressure out back. He did for the first 10 or so laps, but Brandon Elvis started to back off. To go signal will double them up this time by and send them back. Green flag racing with 170 laps to go. Adkins chooses the outside lane here. We'll see how that serves him. Through turns 3 and 4, green flag is out, and we are back racing here at Hickory. Down the back straightaway, good start there for your race leader, Jonathan Adkins. He's going to be clear for that top spot. Brandon Elvis back to 2nd. Carter Hollingsworth and Brandon Atkinson side by side for 3rd. And the caution flag is back out. Matthew Knott spun around in turns 1 and 2. And the pace car will come back out after a short trip down pit road. Let's see what happened here. Looked like contact from the 71 of Christian Peterson. We'll try and look at that back a little bit further. Yeah, it looked like Peterson just had a big run through the center and kind of underestimated or overestimated how fast Matthew Knott was going off the corner. And that puts us under yellow for the 2nd time here this evening. Adkins got a really good jump on the top lane. We'll see what he can do this time. Jared Shell in the 34. Getting the lucky dog. He'll be scored on the lead lap now, as we have completed 34, working lap 35. To go signal. Jonathan Adkins going to once again choose that outside lane. Brandon Elvis going to be on the bottom. Carter Hollingsworth going to be in that 4th spot. That might be the place to be if the restarts are on the outside. But through the restart zone one more time, we are back underway. Good run for the 17 down into turns 1 and 2. Here comes Carter Hollingsworth for the 2nd spot on the outside lane. Turns 3 and 4. Second hit to Hollingsworth by just a sliver at the line. He wants to take over that 2nd spot. Elvis in the 4 machine, not able to get the drive off the bottom. Give the 2nd spot to Carter Hollingsworth in the number 28 machine. And here comes Hollingsworth. He wants the lead. Down into turns 3 and 4. He looked underneath Jonathan Adkins there in the 17. Thought he might have had a run down into turn 3, but thought better of it. He is all over the back bumper there. Comes a look to the inside. Hollingsworth for the lead in the 28 machine. Adkins up the racetrack in the 117. Didn't want any part of it there. Stayed up to the outside. Didn't put too much of a fight up for the top spot. New leader on lap 42. Give it to Carter Hollingsworth. Brandon Elvis up the racetrack a little bit for the 4th spot. Here comes Steven Oberstadt to the bottom in the 8 machine. Looks like Elvis going to get the run up on the top side. That's Richard Parks right behind them in the 1 machine, or sorry, the 113. Oberstadt still looking to the inside of Brandon Elvis. Here comes Brandon Atkinson for 2nd. Contact there for the 2nd spot. Jonathan Adkins up the racetrack. Brandon Elvis going to try to slide through for 3rd down to the bottom. And Brandon Elvis going to take over the 3rd spot. Jonathan Adkins, your pole sitter after the invert, back to the 5th spot. Steven Oberstadt trying to take over that spot right there on the bottom lane. The bottom looks a little bit tough to pass. Oberstadt going to be able to make that pass work. Move him to the 4th spot. Tanner Bethea looking for 5th now. And your top 5 starting to change around here as we are just about a quarter of the way through this one. Now to the inside of Jonathan Adkins. Adkins all the way back to the 7th spot. Looks like he's finally able to get back down in front of the 92. Here comes Jared Newton looking inside. Anthony Ankello and Brandon Kelly battle for the 11th spot. Or sorry, the 12th spot. Nearly contact there that time, and there is contact. Kelly sideways through the center. He'll hang on to it. back up front. Carter Hollingsworth, your race leader, under pressure from the number 15 of Brandon Atkinson. Atkinson right there. Steven Oberstadt looking at the inside of Brandon Elvis for third. Elvis up the track a little bit. Tanner Mathey, your fast qualifier, he is right there as well. And here comes Brandon Atkinson for the top spot on the bottom. Hollingsworth going to hold on. Stat to the third spot. And Tanner Mathey will take over as well. Brandon Atkinson in the 15 machine, looking all over the back bumper of the 28 of Carter Hollingsworth. As you see your whole field there. Richard Parks in the 113, looking at the inside of Brandon Elvis. Elvis still not able to get back to the bottom just yet. Elvis finally able to get back down to the bottom in the 6th spot. Here comes Atkinson to the inside. Hollingsworth up the racetrack there. Did not want to fight with Brandon Atkinson right there. Just wanted to get into the 2nd spot and back into his rhythm. New leader on lap 63. Give it to Brandon Atkinson. Atkinson a couple car lengths out in front of Carter Hollingsworth. And the yellow flag is out. Jared Schell in the 34 machine, I believe, had an incident. Let's see what happened here. Looked like just sideways off the corner, couldn't quite hang on to it. I think he tried to get that car reset, but the caution flag ended up flying as your race leaders went by right there. That will put us under caution. Your field on the left side. Third caution flag so far. Now's the part where we start wondering, does anybody try to play a little bit of pit strategy and come down pit road? I believe these guys have a set of tires down in the pits. Just verified with the drivers, they do have a set of tires. As the 1 to go signal is displayed, Brandon Atkinson and Carter Hollingsworth going to lead us back to green. First time we have seen somebody restart from the inside line. We'll see how it plays out for the 15 of Atkinson. Into the restart zone they go. A little bit of a check up out back. We'll see if it holds. Looks like everybody got going. Atkinson to the lead. Hollingsworth, though, trying to fight back up on the top side. Brandon Atkinson to the race lead. Hollingsworth still keeping his nose there on the outside lane. We are 70 laps in this time by 130 laps to go. And Brandon Elvis and Jonathan Adkins did come down pit road. I believe they did get their set of tires. So we'll see if they're able to get back through the field with enough tire to be there at the end. Matt Borndren, Zach Murphy side by side here. .75 laps up on the board. Brandon Atkinson continuing to hold the race lead here. A little bit further back, Jace Hale and Justin Mulliken continue to battle side by side. These two have been side by side for a long time tonight. The two orange cars battling it out right now for the 12th spot. It looks like Mulliken gonna get the better of him. Jace Hale on the bottom side. All kinds of sideways. Battle for the 5th spot. Richard Parks to the inside of Tony Mongi right there. Mongi trying to hold it on the top side, just not able to keep that car straight through the center. Borndren now looking to the inside of Mongi on lap number 80. Anthony Ankello back behind as well, trying to get to the inside of Zach Murphy. We're approaching the halfway point in this one. Matt Borndren to the bottom, underneath the 92 of Mongi. Man, it just looks so tough to pass on the bottom side. You see the 00 trying to make the bottom work, just Mongi so strong on the outside lane on the exit of the corner. Back behind them, Anthony Ankello very sideways off the corner that time. Murphy up on the top side, just trying to keep the momentum spooled up, and you can see him get the run off the exit of the corner. Be just about clear. But Ankello right there in the 79 trying to use up a lot of room on the center. Just a back and forth battle. And if you're Matthew not behind, it's like, where do I go? Because they're both side by side. Neither one is getting in front. And oh, contact off the corner. Murphy goes around. And the caution flag is going to fly. Zach Murphy goes around on the exit of turns 3 and 4. We saw it live right there. Ankello looked like may have gotten a little bit tight up off the corner. Let's watch it right here. Looked like, yeah, just contact off the corner. Murphy goes around. It didn't look like there was too much of an impact on the 29 machine. So hopefully he can keep it on the racetrack. It looks like he's able to drive away cleanly. Let's see right here on board with the 79 of Anthony Ankello. It looked like just a disagreement on space between the two. from the drone camera. And 79 machine might have came up just a smidge right there from that angle. Couple drivers bringing it pit side this time. Tony Mongi in the 92, putting right side tires on it. He's going to get left side tires as well. It looks like he will go a lap down though. Mongi going to lose the lap there. Back through the restart zone they go. Green flag is back out. 110 laps to go at Hickory. Tanner Bethea in the 4th spot on that restart, got a huge jump. He's up to the 2nd spot here. Can he take over the lead? Looking underneath Brandon Atkinson that time. Thought about peeking the nose. Into turns 3 and 4 up the racetrack. Atkinson going to hold the lead for now. A little bit further back, Christian Peterson trying to fight his way into the top 5. Steven Oberstadt currently holds that spot. Back behind him, Jace Hale side by side with Brandon Kelly. Will take that spot away. Jonathan Atkins and Brandon Elvis, those two are the ones on the alternate strategy. Trying to save as much of their tires as they can. Atkinson continuing to hold the race lead. Carter Hollingsworth in the 3rd spot. Led a couple laps earlier on. They did not like the pace that these two in front of him were wanting to run. Decided it'd be best to let them go for now. Vorndren in the 00 machine to the inside of Christian Peterson now. That's for the 6th spot. Turns 1 and 2 that time. And see how hard it is to pass. Vorndren on the bottom gets a slight advantage through the center. Peterson on the top side, able to hang right there on the right rear quarter. Back out front, your race leader, Brandon Atkinson, coming to the cross flags, halfway in, halfway home this time. 100 down, 100 to go for the 15 of Brandon Atkinson, who has a 3-car length advantage over Tanner Bethea. We watch the battle for the spot. And the caution flag flies. Brandon Kelly in the 9 machine turned around the wrong way. Not sure what happened there. See. Ooh, looked like the 53 machine hard into the corner. Jared Duda. There may have been contact in 1 and 2 prior to that. Oh yeah, the 9 up the racetrack a little bit. You see the 53 of Duda. And definitely into the corner, pretty hot right there. And around goes Brandon Kelly. Go on board here with number 53. You see the contact there in 1 and 2. Oh yeah. You guys saw the wheel motion there. No denying that one, I'm thinking. But the caution flag is back out for the 5th time here tonight. A couple more drivers electing to come down pit road. Zach Murphy is one of them. Murphy down for right sides. It looks like the 29 machine electing to take all 4 tires. And maybe not. He might have gotten the other 2 off in time. But unfortunately going to be scored a lap down. Tough break for Zach Murphy. Going to lose a lap on pit road right there. A couple of cars actually losing a lap on pit road. As we come back around to the 1 to go signal. 107 laps in. We'll come back with 92 laps to go. And through the restart zone they go. Good jump from the 15 of Atkinson on the bottom. And we're back green flag racing. Through turns 1 and 2. Good run for the 20 of Tanner Bethea. He's going to look to the inside. Shows the nose down underneath. Up the racetrack goes the 15. Battle for the race lead. Down into turns 1 and 2. Tanner Bethea in the turn machine trying to pick up where he left off last week in race number 1 at Myrtle Beach. But Atkinson up on the top side, fighting back. Not quite ready to give up that bottom lane. Bethea on the bottom side, a little bit loose in the 20 machine. And through 1 and 2 that time, Brandon Atkinson going to be clear for the top spot. He's able to fend off the 20 of Bethea. Matthew Knott and Brandon Kelly turned around the wrong way in turns 3 and 4, but I think they're going to keep it going. And we'll stay green. Matt Borndren looking underneath Christian Peterson for 5th. Don't count out Brandon Elvis and Jonathan Atkins either. Both of those drivers just waiting for everybody else to come down pit road. Right now, I'm sure saving the tires as much as they can. The race leader, Brandon Atkinson, going to have some lap traffic up in front of him here shortly. That's the 9 of Brandon Kelly. Kelly to the bottom side of the racetrack, down onto the apron, letting everybody go by. Starting to open up a little bit. Brandon Atkinson looks very strong on the long run. Bethea and Hollingsworth are able to be there on the restarts, but once they get a little bit spread out, Atkinson really starts to open up the gap. Well, look at the lap times from that last time around. Hollingsworth a little bit quicker, and the yellow flag flies. Trouble for Anthony Yankello, I believe, in the 79. Oh, in contact with Zach Murphy. That looked a little bit familiar. It looked like off the corner. Not sure if Yankello was trying to swerve down or if Murphy just didn't have enough room there. What happened? That brings out the caution for the 6th time here tonight. Your leader's not quite ready to bring him down pit road and get tires. We'll come back to 80 laps to go this time. And Brandon Atkinson has done a good job holding off Tanner Bethea and Carter Hollingsworth on the restarts. They've both been fairly aggressive, and he's kept them back behind and been able to walk away once the green has been out for a little while. They come back right there to the 1 to go signal. Lights are off on the iRacing.com pace car. We'll send them back green inside of 80 laps to go. No tires for your front four just yet. We'll see what happens here. As the pace car drops to the bottom side, through the restart zone, they go a little bit of a checkup again, and we're back underway. Good start there from Atkinson in the 15, but Bethea is trying to keep it there on the outside lane. Atkinson up the racetrack through the center of the corner, and he will lead back to the line. Turns 3 and 4 that time. Atkinson up the racetrack a little bit. Bethea going to peek to the bottom in 1 and 2. Atkinson going to hold on the outside lane. Bethea really trying to get the car down to the bottom. Just is not able to get the car rotated with enough drive off. Back behind him, Justin Mulliken in the 51 underneath Brandon Elvis in the 4 machine. And contact behind. Tony Mongi goes around. And a big pileup. Jared Duda upside down in turns 1 and 2. A big one. Into 1 and 2 that time. Not sure what happened. Off of the corner. Looked like contact similar to what we saw happen to Zach Murphy and Anthony Ankello, and nowhere for any of those drivers to go. A wild ride for Jared Duda in the 53. Go on board for his ride. Not able to get the cars slowed down in time. Goes all the way up and over. It comes down to rest. And your race leaders are down pit road. Double pit boxing there out front. Tanner Bethea will come out first. Brandon Atkinson second. And Carter Hollingsworth third. So Tanner Bethea gonna steal the top spot right there off pit road. Obviously a couple drivers electing to stay out. Already got those tires. As we're getting the field sorted out. The 2 drivers that had amazing battles all of last season at the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway going to be lined up in the front. Christian Peterson in the 71 machine and Brandon Elvis in the 4. They'll come back to the 1 to go this time by. Race control wasn't quite happy with the lineup there. Lights back off of the iRacing.com pace car. We are ready to send them back. Green flag racing here. Inside of 70 laps to go. There'll be 66 when they come back right here. Through the restart zone that time, Peterson got a little bit of a gap built up, and he got a great jump that time. He's going to be clear for the top spot. Down the back straightaway, we have 11 cars on the lead lap. We'll watch everybody who just got tires try to come up through the field. Anthony Ankello goes around in the 79. Tough break. You saw it happen right there. Get another look. It looked like up off the corner of the 79. If there's anything Brandon Atkinson could have done right there up off the corner. Watch this on board with the 15. Yeah, it looked like he was in the throttle, and just a little bobble from the 79 was all it took. And around goes Anthony Ankello here. 8th caution flag of the evening. While we're under caution, hopefully nobody comes down pit road. I'm going to take a quick step away to get a drink of water. We'll be right back before the restart. Alrighty, folks, and we are back here with 60 laps to go. Trying to get them wound back up in green flag. But through the restart zone they go. Green is out, and they're back on their way. Good start from Brandon Elvis on the bottom side. He's going to be to the inside of Christian Peterson into turns 3 and 4. Here comes Elvis on the bottom, trying to take over the top spot. Tanner Bethea and Tony Mongi battle for third back behind through turns 3 and 4. New leader out front on lap 142. Give it to Brandon Elvis in the 4 machine. Elvis going to take over the top spot. Peterson in the 71 machine a little bit slideways. That time out of turns 3 and 4. Sorry, 1 and 2. Bethea to the bottom now, trying to take over the second spot. Remember, these guys are on about 100 lap fresher tires than Christian Peterson. And Bethea going to take that spot with ease. Move him to the second spot, and he'll set his sights on Brandon Elvis. Comes Carter Hollingsworth now to the inside of Christian Peterson, trying to take over the 4th spot. He will take over that position. Christian Peterson just doesn't look like he has the drive right now at this stage in the race. Closing in on 50 laps to go, and we've got a battle for the lead. Bethea to the inside. Trying to take over the top spot here with just over 50 laps to go. Elvis trying everything he can to keep that 4 machine wound up on the top side. Here comes Brandon Atkinson in the 15. New leader on lap 149. Give it to Tanner Bethea out front here at Hickory. 20 28 of Carter Hollingsworth right there, trying to take over the third spot. Doesn't want to let Brandon Elvis get back down in behind. He'll look to the inside and contact. Off the corner, around goes the 4 Machine. Elvis goes around out of turns 1 and 2. And the caution flag flies for the 9th time here tonight. We'll watch this from the drone camera to see if we can see what happened. It looked like the 28 machinist might have tried to get a little bit too much there off the corner. Tough break for Carter Hollingsworth. Look at this one more time. On board here with the 28. I don't know, from right there it almost looks like the 4 Machine might have came down a little bit. Maybe met in the middle there, but look at this one more time. And they just tangle right there on the exit. Definitely it looks like they met in the middle a little bit there. A caution out for the 9th time. One of these drivers just came down pit road, and that was the 71 of Christian Peterson. Did he save his right side tires? Let's watch this again. And look at that, the 71 of Christian Peterson going to have fresh right side tires here. Inside of 50 laps to go. And this is going to be an exciting one here. He'll start from the 9th spot. We'll see if he's got anything for Tanner Bethea or Brandon Atkinson out front. Hollingsworth and Elvis to the rear after that one. We'll send him back green with 45 laps to go. Good start there from Bethea on the bottom, and we're back racing. Here turns 1 and 2. Brandon Atkinson able to get the 2nd spot. He'll get back in line behind Bethea. And the caution flag flies once again. 10th caution flag here tonight. I believe it might have been trouble for the 4 Machine. Oh, and more contact after the fact with Carter Hollingsworth. He goes around in turn 3. What happened that time? Yeah, it looked like contact there for sure. We'll go on board with Carter Hollingsworth to see what kind of story that tells. He definitely got up into the wall after the contact in the center. Looked like he bounced off the wall. Off the wall right there, and maybe a little bit of a correction, a little bit of a turn. You guys in the comment section below can be the deciding factor on that, but the caution flag out once again nonetheless. Laps to go this time by. They get the 1 to go signal. Be sending them back green this time by. outside lane here. He's got Brandon Atkinson to the bottom. And we will see what happens here. Good jump that time through the restart zone. Back racing here with 38 laps to go. 10 cars left on the lead lap. They're battling for the third spot back behind Tony Monge in the 92 machine. Trying to keep Zach Murphy in 29 today. Right there in the 113, able to get around Zach Murphy. Here comes Steven Overstat to the bottom as well. They leads out front with 35 laps to go. Keep an eye on that 71 machine of Christian Peterson. He's got fresh tires on the right side of that race car. Right now stuck behind Matt Borngren and Zach Murphy, who are side by side. And oh, Murphy goes around into turn 3. And the caution flag back out once again. Not sure what happened there on the exit. Let's watch right here. Looked like Murphy might have been trying to get back down in line, and there was just so little of a gap. Contact with the 71 of Peterson. And around goes Zach Murphy, and the caution flag flies once again. Let's look at that one more time. On board with Peterson. Saw the contact that time. Murphy right there. Scored in the 10th spot. Jace Hale going to get the lucky dog. He'll be back on the lead lap. And now 30 laps remaining at the Hickory Motor Speedway. Unfortunately, Carter Hollingsworth and Brandon Elvis have called it a night. They will get the 1 to go signal here. Buffet going to once again choose the outside lane. It's been good tonight here on the restarts. They're able to hold more throttle through turns 1 and 2. We'll see what happens here as we send them back with 29 laps to go. Good start once again for the 20 machine. Buffet able to get out front early on. Back behind them, they battle for the 4th spot. Steven Overstat to the inside of Richard Parks. Trying to take over 4th. Matt Borngren right there as well. Christian Peterson trying to drive back to the front. Had to go to the rear after that last caution flag. We'll see if he can find a way around Zach Murphy right here. Here comes Peterson to the bottom. Murphy not going to put up too much of a fight. He'll try and cross back over, but not going to be able to do it. 25 laps to go. Matt Borngren battling with Richard Parks now. That's for the 5th spot. Down the back straightaway, Parks a little bit loose off the corner that time. It's going to allow Vorndren to sneak through. Here comes Justin Mulliken, trying to move his way up late in the going. Peterson in the 71 thought about making it 3 wide there on the bottom. Knows he has fresher tires. He's just running out of time to use them. Steven Oberstadt in the 8 machine, looking to the inside of Tony Mongi there for the 3rd spot. Nothing going to come from it for right now, though. Richard Parks able to get clear. Back out in front of Justin Mulliken. Here comes Christian Peterson to the outside. Peterson to the outside of the 71. Justin Mulliken here. Can he do both? On the bottom side, trying to get the momentum up off the corner. Top side there just so strong, like it has been all night. Similar story here for 3rd. Oberstadt to the bottom. Just unable to get the power down through the center. One more with Oberstadt here on the bottom. See how he has to drive into the corner. Very late on the throttle. The car wants to come around on you. 15 laps to go this time for Tanner Bethea. He leads by about 4 car lengths over Brandon Atkinson right now. Battle back behind, Christian Peterson up to 6th. Able to get around Richard Parks right there. Steven Oberstadt to the inside of Tony Mongi, trying to make that pass for 3rd. Oberstadt on the bottom. Looks like he has the advantage right now, just unable to clear Tony Mongi. Going to that time. Moves Steven Oberstadt to 3rd. Matt Vorndren trying to pass as well. The race leader, Tanner Bethea, comes back to 10 laps to go. The gap's starting to open up now. He's starting to find a little bit more pace than your 2nd place car, Brandon Atkinson. Christian Peterson in the 71 trying to break into the top 5 here with 9 laps to go. Peterson on the bottom, Mongi up top. It's so hard to pass here in the late model stock. You've seen it all night long. For some time. Just incredibly tough to get that car rolling, especially when you've got a lot of heat in the tires over the course of a run. Peterson trying to the bottom. Steven Oberstadt in the 8 machine trying to pick up his first podium of the season. And he hang on. Matt Vorndren trying to do the same. They'll come back this time to 5 laps to go. Tanner Bethea with a big lead out front. Trying to win 2 weeks in a row in the Trackmaster Sim Series. Through turns 3 and 4 that time. About a 10th faster than Brandon Atkinson in the 2nd place spot. 20 machine has found something here. Once the tires have gotten heated up, He is starting to pull away. Look back with 3 to go. Peterson and Mongi continue that. But out front for Tanner Bethea, the popsicle sticks are up in the air. 2 laps to go. 2 more trips around the Hickory Motor Speedway for Tanner Bethea. He qualified on the pole here tonight, got in the practice session late, missed the driver's meeting, had to start from the tail end of the field, past 17 cars, and now he leads on the final lap down the back straightaway. And into turns 3 and 4, Tanner Bethea going to drive off the final corner to his second victory of the season. Tanner Bethea wins at Hickory. Brandon Atkinson comes home in the 2nd spot. Steven Oberstadt comes home 3rd. Matt Borndren 4th in the 00. Tony Mongi 5th in the 92. Christian Peterson comes home 6th. Justin Mulliken 7th. Richard Parks 8th. Zach Murphy 9th. And Matthew Knott rounds out your top 10. Tanner Bethea in the 20 machine. Celebrating here on the front straightaway. Let's grab a word from our top 3 finishers quickly before we wrap things up here at the Hickory Motor Speedway. See if we can't grab a word from our 3rd place finisher here tonight, Steven Oberstadt. Steven, up in the booth, you got a copy?
I do.
Alrighty, well, 3rd place spot here tonight. You started in the 6th position. You were in the top 5 there late in the run, and then there was some controversy up in front of you. A couple guys got together, and you found a way to get the 8 machine on the podium here tonight. How do you feel after 200 laps at Hickory?
Pretty good, man. That was fun. That was some good racing there at the end. And yeah, happy to get a podium. I wish the pit cycle would have shuffled a little bit better. I was a little bit further back than I wanted to be, and kind of had to use up some stuff to get back to where I needed to be. But all in all, good run. Kept it clean, no incidents, so I'm happy with that.
No incidents, definitely something to be proud of, especially after 200 laps at Hickory. Can be tough to keep the car clean here, and that's what it took here tonight. Only, I think, 11 cars finished on the lead lap, and obviously it took a lot of survival skills there at the end, but good run for the 8 machine, finishing 3rd here tonight. Who do you have to thank for your first podium of the season with the Trackmaster Sim Series?
Well, first of all, thanks to y'all up there in the booth, man. I love your stuff, and you guys are always great. Obviously, got to thank Caudle Chassis. They make sure this car runs fast, and I got no excuses. Shout out my teammates, Tanner with the win, and everybody else, Matt, Justin, Carter, and definitely want to shout out RJ. You know, he's helped me get a lot better in this car, and I think we still got room for improvement. So yeah, good stuff.
It was a good run for the 8 machine here tonight, and we wish you luck next week at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. Congratulations, Steven.
Thanks, buddy.
Alrighty, that was your 3rd place finisher. Now to talk to our 2nd place finisher, Brandon Atkinson. We'll see if we can't get him up into the broadcast booth. Brandon Atkinson, you got a copy?
Yes, sir, WD. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. That was an exciting race there. 200 laps at the Hickory Motor Speedway. You came home in the 2nd spot. Looked like you might have had something there, but just didn't quite have enough to hold off Tanner Bethea there at the end. How do you feel after 200 laps?
We're sweating a little bit after that 200 laps, but it was a fun race. We didn't have the short run speed that we needed to beat Tanner. I think if maybe I could have brought everyone down pit road a little bit earlier than I did, maybe we would have had something for them. But either way, it was a great race. Super thankful to the guys at Trick Chassis, Christian Peterson, Anthony Yankello, all the boys. Couldn't have done it without them, and it was a super fun race tonight with Tanner, and hopefully we can get some more like that in.
Yeah, it was definitely fun watching the two of you guys battle. He put up a pretty good fight to your inside, and you held him off a couple times, but there at the end, it looked like he had a little bit more grip on the short run, like you said. Your car looked very fast in the long run, but short run speed is what it ultimately came down to when it was all said and done. Still a good run for the 15 machine here tonight, second place spot. Who do you have to thank for a good run?
Like I said, everyone at Skyline and Trick Chassis, Anthony Yankello, Christian Peterson, just everyone who helps out during the week, and everyone who puts on this league for us to come and have a good time during the week.
Yeah, it's definitely been a lot of fun. We're 4 races in, technically 5 if you count the twin 75s, however you want to look at it, but we've got 3 races left. Myrtle Beach next week. How do you feel about your chances heading into there with some momentum?
Well, last week seemed to be a little bit better for us at Myrtle Beach than the first race that we had. We're still tweaking the setups a little bit and working on our, I really like having a long run speed in these setups, even though sometimes we get these late race cautions. It just seems to help me out a little bit more. So we got a few things to work on, but the momentum's been rolling our way, and especially for the whole team and everyone. So we look forward to keeping it rolling, and hopefully we can pick up a win by the time the end of the year comes around.
Yeah, definitely looked like you had a fast number 15 machine here tonight. And hopefully you guys can get the setup rolling and we can see you back near the top of the board next week at Myrtle Beach. But nonetheless, congratulations to you, Brandon, on your second place finish here tonight.
Thank you, WD, and thank you for the broadcast and all that you do.
Yes, sir. Alrighty, that was your second place finisher, Brandon Atkinson, in the 15 machine. And now to talk to our winner here tonight, up into the broadcast booth, Tanner Bethea, 2 weeks in a row, your winner in the Trackmaster Sim Series. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, well, got into the practice session late. We're unable to make the drivers' meeting in time, so you had to start from the rear. Qualified on pole, the 20 machine came from the rear to the front here tonight. 200 laps. It was exciting to watch you drive through the field, but looked like you had a little bit more on the short run there at the end, and you were able to pass Brandon when it was all said and done.
Yeah, this number 20 Caudal Chassis car was just absolutely on rails when we unloaded for this place. I didn't really get much practice. We loaded in into qualifying actually, and didn't really have a setup put together and got lucky on a lap. But like you said, we missed drivers meeting, so that caused us to go to the rear. But just overall, it was a really good race, man. Like the set started how it finished pretty much. We started getting loose there at the end, but just all around a perfect race.
Yeah, there was some strategy thrown in there as well. You and a couple guys came down pit road. You were actually able to take the top spot away on pit road and come out ahead of, I believe it was Brandon Atkinson. But ultimately that won you the race there on pit road. And still a great run for the 20 machine. Absolutely had, like you said, on rails. Looked very fast, especially on those restarts when it mattered the most. So good run for you. Who do you have to thank for a victory once again in the Trackmaster Sim Series?
Yeah, I would like to thank you for the broadcast, man. You do an amazing job. But I'd like to thank Caudal Chassis and just everybody there that helps. Like, for instance, tonight, for people that can't make stuff, you always have somebody to have your back, you know what I mean, and just have somebody there to help you, you know what I mean. But I'd like to thank Josh Caudal for the fast setup. He does an amazing job, and that's about all.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you, Tanner, on your win here tonight. Before I let you go, next week at the Myrtle Beach Speedway, you won there last week. You win at Hickory this week. You think you can go 3 weeks in a row in the Trackmaster Sim Series?
That's the plan. It's always the plan winning, so we'll see what we can do.
Alrighty, well, congratulations to you on your win here tonight, and we wish you luck going forward.
I appreciate it, man.
Alrighty, that was your winner here tonight, Tanner Bethea. 2 weeks in a row picks up the victory in the Trackmaster Sim Series. Let's take a look at our final finishing results on screen. 11 cars on the lead lap. Bethea, your winner. Atkinson second, Oberstadt third. Matt Borndren comes home in the 4th spot. Christian Peterson 5th. Tony Monge 6th. Justin Mulliken 7th. Richard Parks 8th. Zach Murphy 9th. Matthew Knott rounds out the top 10. Jace Hale, final car on the lead lap. Brandon Kelly 12th. Anthony Ankello 13th. Jonathan Atkins 14th. Jared Duda 15th. Jared Shell 16th, Carter Hollingsworth 17th, and Brandon Elvis rounds out your field in the 18th spot. But that is going to do it for us here tonight on the WD Broadcasting Network. I thank you guys for tuning in to this point. It was a fun 200-lap race at the Hickory Motor Speedway, and we can't wait for next week at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. So, once again, thank you guys for watching. I am your host, Winston Neal, signing it off from the Hickory Motor Speedway. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.